Okay, guys, so here we're gonna do our recap of today's trades. Today we traded one stock only, FFHL. We took a few trades on this one. It was a continuation setup. So this was a pretty interesting stock because it was not very clear pre-market. So it appeared pre-market that it was already selling off. So it had moved from $5 up to 8.55, and then it pulled back to VWAP, this orange dotted line, and then really you would want it to hold this level, not break VWAP, but in this case it broke VWAP to the downside, and it just sold off. So I kind of marked it off the books. I was like, well, this one's pretty, it's not going to be one that I'm going to want to trade, but it made a surprising move out of the gates. As you can see that it went from 650 up to 1050, and then it pulled back and it just kind of sold off. It looks like it's kind of curling back up now, but yeah, I'm thinking it might hit $8 VWAP and then just fell after that. So we'll jump into the 1 minute chart so we can look at our entries a little bit with more detail. Okay, so I took 2 trades total on this stock. So my first entry was right here, right before this halt. So it was moving up and I was watching it. I was kind of stalking it from all the way down here from this level 650, but I was watching for more volume to come in and for a cleaner move, a quicker move. It was just really kind of slow moving through this period. Here towards these candles, it started moving pretty fast, but I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait for a little pullback. Well, it ended up squeezing up to a high of 743. So it moved up to 723 from this move down to from 625 up to 725 around that level. It was about to halt, and then so I'm like, well, I remember from yesterday there was a stock that halted and it resumed a good amount higher. So I was like, well, this is chasing it, but I'm gonna jump in here with smaller share size and just kind of see what it does. So I went ahead and jumped in. I took a starter here at 725. It was a false halt. The halt ended up moving higher up to 743. So I was up nicely, almost 20 cents from my initial entry there. So I decided to hold on this through this halt. I did not sell. I held it, and then on resumption, I was like, well, I'm gonna jump in on resumption because I've got a feeling that it's gonna break the half dollar, 750, squeeze up to nearly the whole dollar, and possibly squeeze higher. So that's just what I did. I ended up getting in on the resumption of the halt. It resumed at 778, and I jumped in right at 778. It squeezed up to, so I had added to my position. It squeezed up to 8, a high of 821. I sold some at 815, and then the rest at 8. So that was a pretty nice trade from 725 up to 820. I did take profit up here and then sold the rest at $8. I was kind of hoping for a bigger move, but I mean that was a pretty nice move right there. And then the next trade, I jumped in on the bounce. So whenever on the dips, so whenever these make a big move up, they usually come down pretty hard. So I was watching this for a dip. It did dip down to 776. I tried to fill in there around that level. I ended up getting filled a little bit higher around 785. Sold up here around 820. So captured nice little profit there on this little bounce. Cannot complain about that. Of course, I am trading with smaller share size, not like some of these professionals that trade big share size. So I'm okay with the share size that I'm trading. It's within my risk tolerance, and it's working out good for me. So I'm going to stick to it. And so here you can see that it made a move higher. So of course, I mean, if you hold it, there is that chance that it's going to move higher. But again, I trade level 2, and I'm not trading with 10, 20, 30,000 share size positions to sell half and hold the other half for the bigger move. Hopefully one day I am at that level. But anyways, so here we can see that it made a move up to 1050, and on this flush is I jumped in again. It broke 957, which was support, and I jumped in here on 925, a little bit around 930 possibly. Sold around 960, 965. So from 930 to 960 on this dip, very nice trade there. And you can see here that it broke the support and it flushed down. Support on this candle was 901 and it flushed down to 868. So another little dip buy opportunity. I did not take that trade. I was already satisfied with the trades that I had taken today, and that was it for today. It was a mixture of entries out of the halts, right before halts, out of the halts, and dip buys. So today was a pretty nice day. Uh, I'm pretty satisfied with the results. FFHL was the only stock traded. There was one that I was looking at pre-market on. It was BRN, but yesterday I remembered from SINT that SINT was not very clean. It was setting up a gap and go trade, but it did not work out very well. So I was like, well, it looks very similar, or to me, it looks very similar to SINT yesterday, and it did not work. So I'm gonna sit tight on this one, and that was the right move. I mean, there was a little entry pre-market, but I really try to stay away from those kind of trades, and that was the right move to stay away from this stock today. All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or my trading or anything, just let me know. Thanks.